Welcome to the County Connection, your direct link to everything happening in beautiful Shenandoah County. Presented by the Shenandoah County Chamber of Commerce, we're here to plug you into the businesses, people, and stories that make our community shine. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and connected. This is the County Connection.
Welcome back to the County Connection, brought to you by the incredible Shenandoah County Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Justin Wightman. I'm really excited to be here today.
I'm Stuart, Freakley, equally thrilled to be connecting you with a vibrant heart of business community right here in Shenandoah County. Every episode, we aim to shine light on people and organizations making a real difference, and today is no exception.
That's right. And before we dive into today's incredibly important and timely discussion, we absolutely have to give a massive shout out to our fantastic business sponsor for this episode, the truly amazing Melted Dreams Food Company.
Probably Strasburg. I'd like to say that.
Okay. Strasburg, that's right. If you haven't experienced the culinary magic of Melted Dreams Food Co., you're truly missing out. So picture this: gourmet grilled cheeses, loaded mac and cheese, amazing soups that take comfort food to a whole new level. It's not just a meal, it's an experience. The creations are pure art for your taste buds. Truly amazing.
Absolutely. You can find them online at melteddreamsfoodco.com and be sure to give them a follow and a like on Facebook at Melted Dreams Food Co. So go treat yourself. You will not regret it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Justin, as we talk about the fabric of our community, today's topic is one that impacts every single business owner, every resident, and the overall quality of life in Shenandoah County. The absolutely vital relationship between our local businesses and our dedicated law enforcement.
It's a conversation that's more important now than ever. And we're incredibly honored to have two distinguished guests joining us today, Chief Keith Cowart from the Mount Jackson Police Department and Chief Wayne Sager from the Strasburg Police Department. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for taking the time to be here with us today. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank the Chamber for having us, sir. Thank you all very much. Excited.
So let's jump right in. Chief Cowart, from your perspective in Mount Jackson, how crucial are these relationships, business and police partnerships, for the overall well-being and prosperity of a community like ours? And maybe share an example of how that partnership has really shined.
So those relationships are really important. It builds a level of trust between our group and the businesses and community. It's just another facet of community policing that we see. Everybody thinks the community is the citizens and stuff like that, but it also includes the businesses.
Absolutely.
The one aspect of it is coffee. Create a fundraiser that involved us to actually get behind the bar and make coffee for a fundraiser that went to Champaign. So that was just a trust we built with them.
Yeah, excellent. That's great. Yeah. So Chief Sager, from the Strasburg perspective, what are some of the tangible ways you've seen these partnerships directly benefit both the police department and local businesses? Are there specific programs or initiatives you found particularly effective?
Yeah, but also to touch on what Chief Cowart just said is the networking and being consistently showing up for our community, for our businesses. But for us, most recently, we had a mass amount of fraud, in particular, the different cases that we had. And we partnered with our local business community to host a summit, not only through the location, but sponsoring the businesses, but also getting that message out, right? Getting that message to our businesses so that they can also help our community prevent and keep our community safe. So for us, that was a really success within the town of Strasburg and hopefully with all the other counties as well.
Yeah, thank you. You invited me to that one. That was great. And I've heard a lot of feedback since we've done that from a lot of different citizens that they really appreciated that. And I've asked to kind of expand on some of those programs as well, fraud specific. But yeah, that was great.
Well, also too, to touch base, not just law enforcement, but our local businesses are the businesses that support our youth, right? Little League, Parks and Rec. And so being part of that and being engaged with that and being supportive of those businesses that give back to our community and create community, right? I mean, so it's really important.
Yeah. That leads us perfectly into our next point, crisis ready preparedness for business. In today's world, it kind of feels like anything can happen. Natural disasters, as we've unfortunately seen, to, like we're just talking about, cybersecurity threats, or even something, more localized incident. What practical advice do you both have for a business in terms of being prepared for these various cases?
Don't panic. Rely on your resources.
prioritize what your necessities are and that what you need to go forward.
Yeah, have a conversation, have a plan, and talk with your employees, talk about those things, and also maybe incorporate some mental health training. So someone walks into your business that might be in crisis, what to do or what not to do.
Yeah.
So that those will be pretty important. I feel.
Yeah, just kind of some what if scenarios.
Yeah.
Just say you've at least thought about it before it, maybe happens, because like Chief was saying, you don't want to panic. And if you haven't thought about it, potentially panic and maybe even make it worse.
Yeah. And that's great advice for business owners, because a lot of them don't think through that part of it. They're like, how do I, they think about inventory, traffic, and hours, and not thinking, hey, what if someone walks in and there is a situation, not necessarily like, danger, but maybe there is someone who comes in with a mental health crisis, and how do you deal with that? Right. And so what resources do we have? So that's great. It's a great point to bring up, and kind of tell people to get a plan in place for that sort of thing, and what resources they have out there.
Right. And another tangible thing for us is we're still, the first one was our fraud summit. We're doing quarterly community neighborhood watch, a little bit different model where you're not going to a particular location, but it's being hosted at a central location, inviting all the community. So each quarter will have a different topic. Our first was the fraud, partnering with our business community. We're working on our next one for the month of August. And so we'll get that out to our community. And we provide that information on our for Strasburg on Facebook and through our town newsletter.
And practicing those plans, I imagine, is just important as having it on paper. So that we just talked about. So coming up with a plan, but practicing them and getting them an understanding for them. Chief Sager, what else should businesses be thinking about regarding preparedness, perhaps even from a physical security standpoint?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is just your surveillance cameras, right? Making sure they function, making sure they're recording, the focal points in your cameras. If you don't have them, it's just really a small investment into your business, into your employees, and into yourself, your assets. So that would probably be the biggest one to me that jumps out. Chief.
Yeah, just learn how to use your equipment. If you got it, learn how to use it, be able to transfer evidence to us, or be able to at least play it back so we can see what's going on, what happened. Maybe we can identify the person.
Yeah, it might not be directly related to your business, but it may catch something that was going on at your neighbors or out on the street or something. So great point. Really help with that kind of stuff as well too, I imagine.
Yeah.
Shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about something that touches the core of our community's future, and that would be the youth and jobs, investing in our future. How do you see the police department playing a role in connecting with the youth in our community, building those positive relationships, and potentially, keeping them geared towards a positive path, positive future employment and civic engagement?
Justin, that's a great question. I think that happens every day, every interaction, every shift. It's through the culture of the agency, knowing that you're getting out, at the apartment complex, engaging with them.
Sure.
Being present, showing up, being consistent, but also too, to talk about the Chamber Youth Leadership Program. We have a Public Safety Day, engaging with youth there. Triplet Tech, a lot of things going up that way for you all as well. And, but I think that is an everyday occurrence, not just a set plan, but then you have your bigger outreaches, right? We got National Night Out coming up August 5th, right? Each locality has their location. In Strasburg, it starts 6 p.m. at Town Park. It's our biggest outreach event of the year. But there's lots of different ways to do that, but I think it has to happen every day.
Yep.
And you got to keep it fair and consistent whenever you're dealing with youth.
Yeah.
And show them that there is more to life, and the consequences or rewards for decisions that they make as more than just what's shown on social media. We have to get past those influencers on social media to be able to make that positive impact. So by us being fair and consistent, every time they see us and interact with us, they know that we're the real thing and not some made up mess out there.
Yeah, we, at Strasburg, we encourage officers to get involved in the community, whether that's coaching. Several officers coach at the local schools or in the Little League, camps and different outreaches. And so, like I said, it's really every day. It's really important as you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that brings us nicely to a topic many of our local downtowns are focusing on. So that's cultivating vibrant downtowns, especially as they come alive in the evenings. So let's talk about safe communities, strong economics, downtown after dark, nightlife, safety, and success. So how do we balance fostering that downtown vibrancy and growing nightlife with ensuring safety for both patrons and the businesses themselves.
Yes. I mean, we don't have a large nightlife downtown. I think our quality of life has really increased in the town of Strasburg. We have Front Porch Fridays every Friday through the summer months. Box Office Brewery will have some concerts. So we do have some activities, but as far as like nightclubs and things of that nature, we don't have those. And I think overall, our community is very safe. But again, just preaching about situational awareness, being safe, maybe where you park in a well-lit area. If you see something, say something. If something is out of place, please just call us. I mean, that's what we're here for. And the officers are really good at walking the street, checking on different events, and we task officers to larger events to have them just for that, being there. And again, just being a good community partner, showing up.
Wayne, specifically with Strasburg, what are some challenges and successes have you seen in maintaining that balance?
So, like I said, we've had a very large increase in events in town, which is great, right?
Yeah.
But it could put a strain on resources, right? You have an event every weekend or multiple events every weekend.
Sure.
And so I would say that would be the challenge, but it hasn't been really a challenge. The motto with us is we try to find a way to yes and not no. And so we're always trying to be a good community partner, being there. So when we have an ask from a group or from the town, we try to make that happen. In a small agency, me as a chief, I jump in.
Yeah.
Right. We got the kind of lead from the front, be willing to help and get in there and get involved.
All hands on deck.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Chief Cowart, I know that you guys have a lot of growth happening down in Mount Jackson too. I know crew opening up. Right. I know this with the town doing a lot, getting involved, new events.
Yep.
You guys are really starting to really get active down there. Are you seeing a bigger need on your force? Are you guys seeing a bigger draw or balancing it right now, or feel like in the future? I just feel like there's a lot of growth happening down that way. So I don't know if you've seen or felt any impact on that yet.
Not directly. We definitely appreciate the growth. It's bringing more stuff to Mount Jackson, more attention to it. The town's done a really great job of bringing events there. But as far as my guys, whoever's on duty, and if they need help, I got a list of people that's willing to jump in and help out. So it's really not burdening on us at the moment.
Hopefully we get there.
If it keeps going, you might have to.
Yeah. So we hope, right? That's right. So this has been a great conversation, super insightful about community safety, future. To wrap up, Chief Cowart and Chief Sager, a more perspective, personal, reflective question for both of you. What does leadership mean and look like to you guys? We talk about it a lot. I know you're both very heavily involved in your respective roles within the police department as integral parts of the wider Shenandoah County. So what does leadership look like to you guys?
Good question. Well,
that's a big one.
Wayne mentioned it just a minute ago. Get down there, lead from the front. Another is being fair and consistent. Just being there for you guys, make sure they're taken care of. And then and if they're taken care of, town's going to be taken care of. And if town's taken care of, it's going to spread out into the surrounding area of the county.
Yeah, that domino effect. Yeah, right. It's a leadership, and to me, it's people, right? People, and that's really what we're here to do. Is I really enjoy embracing and serving those that serve others. Is kind of how I view that. And so, really, as leaders, we invest into our biggest resource, our biggest asset, right? Our biggest budget, right, is our staff, our payroll. And so, making those deposits into your employees with sincerity, right? And knowing that each and every one of them know that you care and you love for them and their families and have their best interests. And you're going to treat them with respect. You're going to treat them with dignity, and there are things that we have to deal with internally, but we do those in an appropriate manner and we have those conversations, but we still treat each other with respect. So I think for leadership, from my perspective, just really in one word is people.
It's great.
Yeah. Chief Cowart, Chief Sager, thank you both so much for sharing your invaluable insights, experience, and time with us today. We truly appreciate all that you do for our towns and our county. This is an important conversation that needs to, kind of continually happen, just to keep everybody safe and happy and well informed. So we really appreciate it today. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Your dedication to our communities, your teams, ensuring their safety and their privacy. It's truly appreciated by everyone. So thank you.
Yeah.
And another just shameless plug for National Night Out is August 5th. Again, all the towns It's a nationwide.
August 5th, National Night Out.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep.
Come see us.
5 to 8 Mount Jackson.
There you go.
6 p.m. Strasburg Town Park.
Yeah, perfect. And thank you all to our listeners for listening to the County Connection.
Yeah.
And
So remember to support your amazing local businesses, especially our wonderful sponsor of this episode, Melted Dreams Food Co. down in Strasburg. Don't forget to check them out online, Facebook. You won't be disappointed.
And Stuart, it's time for a little hint, our puzzle for our next episode's business sponsor. So listen carefully. This business helps the community grow by providing a strong financial foundation for dreams and endeavors, especially prominently located right on Main Street in Strasburg. They're all about your green and your future possibility.
Very interesting, Justin. Sounds like a place to keep things on track for your financial well-being.
Indeed. So that's all for this episode of County Connection.
Yep. Join us next time for more insights into the business and people that make Shenandoah County thrive. Until then, stay connected.
To take the next step in growing your business or to become a member, visit the Shenandoah County Chamber of Commerce at www.shenandoahcountychamber.com. There you'll find resources, our event calendar, and a full member directory. Be sure to check us out on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us on the County Connection, where we connect business and build community. Remember, staying connected is how we all thrive. See you next time.